Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Figuring Out Epilepsy, where we talk about all things epilepsy plus more. Welcome to season 2. I can't believe we are here. We did it. We did season 1. I hope you guys didn't mind my joke too much about me stopping stop recording, stopping my podcast and all that, just canceling it. I hope you guys didn't mind too much. I was trying to be funny. I was trying to be funny and kind of like lighthearted with it. I wouldn't cancel it. I would probably announce it on Instagram before I do an episode on the podcast if I were to ever cancel it, but I don't see myself canceling it. So if I ever say that again, it's probably a joke again. It's like it's gonna turn out to like the girl or the boy who called wolf. But yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm here. You guys can't get rid of me that easy. Welcome to season 2. For today's episode, I wanted to just tell you guys a little story about how I got my scar. I don't know what I'm going to call this episode as of right now. So if you guys are watching this, hopefully I came up with a clever name. Because it honestly can go in so many different directions. It could be called How I Got My Scar, the reason why I got rescue medication the day I almost died, the reason why I believe God is protecting me. Like it can just go so many different directions. And that's probably what this video or this episode is going to be about. It's just going to be like another, just so many different perspectives and just out here doing its thing. My back is itchy. I'm all scratching it. But yeah, how I got my scar. So this was back. I'm trying to think. I'm really bad at dates because they all kind of blend in together with me. So I try to think of certain things in my life where I was like, okay, so this was this year, and then that's how I remember dates. I'm really bad at dates, and I'm really bad at names. Like those things are the hardest things for me to remember. I don't know if anyone else is like that or if it's just me. I'm all adjusting myself and like trying to get comfy. Hopefully I have my background up for the next episode because I'm planning on doing a whole new background. So we'll see. Because we're trying to be cuter over here. We're trying to improve with every season. And so season 2 upgrade. But yeah, how I got my scar. So it was, let's see, once upon a time in the land of California in the middle of the desert. Not a mouse was stirring, just spiders attacking me and scaring the life out of me. No. Yes, so I do live in California. I live in the desert in California, which actually I don't mind because it's like right there, an hour away from LA and my family, and it's close by to the beach and the mountains. So it's like, it's kind of in a good spot. But anyways, that's not the point of this episode. I'm getting distracted. Oh my goodness. First episode of season 2 and I'm already a hot mess. Some things never change, right? But yes, it was, what year was it? I think it was 2020 or in 2019. No, I think it was 2019 or 2018. Hold on. 2019, I was in Florida, and from the pictures, it looks like I already had my scar. So I'm thinking it was either the beginning of 2019 or it was the end of 2018. So it's like one of those times, right? No, it wasn't. I'm thinking it was probably 2019. No, I think it was 2019. I think it was 2019. Huh. Epilepsy brain for you can't remember squat. I think it was 2019, but it was the beginning of 2019 because I was in Florida. I was in Florida, like in June-ish, May-ish, June-ish. And I already had my scar, so I'm thinking it was the beginning. It was after February, so I'm thinking about maybe like March, April, May, one of those months in 2019. And yeah, the point is, it was some time ago. This is why I don't tell stories. This is why I write everything down, because I can't remember anything. My memory sucks, especially when it comes to dates. But I think it was sometime between March and May of 2019. Okay, so between those months, it was it was during the school year because I didn't have to work the next day, but I showed up with a scar sometime later when I went back to work. Yeah. So it was during that time, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So March, April, or May of 2019. It was the middle of the night. It was the middle of the night, and oh no. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Let's just go with it's 2019 because I'm starting to confuse myself even more. It was sometime in 2019. Oh my gosh, I really need to like write these dates down because this is so bad. I'm just been sitting here for like 10 minutes now trying to figure out when it was. The point is, it was sometime during the year. I think it was 2019. Um and it was in the middle of the night. Everyone was asleep. So back then, like if you guys been following me, you know that I live in my mom's garage. My mom's converted garage. I'm not just in here in her garage, but it's a converted garage. It's like an apartment. We converted her garage into an apartment, and my daughter and I, plus our two birds and a dog, we all are here in this apartment garage thing. But before that, before we converted the garage, I was in my mom's main house, and it was my mom, my younger brother, my daughter, me, and two birds. We didn't have Milo back then yet. Milo didn't come around until like 2021, but it was our two birds. And it was in the middle of the night. My mom and my daughter were asleep. My brother, he has insomnia also, so he's never asleep. So he was up in the middle of the night in his room, probably watching TV, probably playing video game, one of those two. When in the middle of the night, I felt like I had to use, no, in the middle of the night, I felt like I was twitching. It was before my rescue medicine. So back then when I twitched, I honestly didn't tell people when I wasn't feeling sick. So this really could have been prevented, and it's honestly my fault. It's honestly my fault why I hurt myself for being stubborn and and living in denial and stuff. So don't do what I did. Don't live in denial and not tell anyone when you're not feeling well. But yes, it was the middle of the night. My daughter was asleep. My mom was asleep, and I started twitching. I was already in bed, so I was already, winding down from the day and trying to go to sleep and stuff. And I started twitching, and it started becoming more and more consistent. My seizures tend to happen either when I wake up or right before I'm going to bed. It's always in that time. I've only had one seizure during the day, and that was my first seizure. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. Check out that episode. It's the first episode of Figuring Out Epilepsy. Yeah. And let's see. I started twitching and I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to sleep. I'm going to try to force myself to go to sleep and just sleep it off. And hopefully like that, I wouldn't have a seizure. That was my thought process back then. That like, if only I wasn't so hard-headed and stubborn, like I could have. But I mean, we all go through things in our own way, and being hard-headed and stubborn was part of my process, part of my journey. So I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my mom or my daughter because I was just hoping. I was hoping that by going to sleep, I would sleep it off and I wouldn't have a seizure and no one would ever find out that I wasn't feeling well and they wouldn't have to worry about me. So I go to sleep, or at least I try to go to sleep. I didn't even tell my brother because I didn't want anyone to fuss over me or stress over me or anything like that. So I didn't tell anyone and I just tried to sleep it off, but sleeping it off was not working because I couldn't even fall asleep. My eyes were twitching so much that it was keeping me awake. So I couldn't go to sleep. It was just too much. I do have a video of me and what I look like when my eyes are twitching. It's on my Instagram. Did I post it? I think it's on TikTok as well. So I have a video of me if you guys want to check that out. I do have that up and you can have a visual of what I'm talking about when I say my eyes are twitching. So my eyes were twitching. That's what I look like before I had my tonic-clonic. And for whatever reason, I don't understand it. I need to do research on this or whatever. But I always have to use the restroom. I always have to go to the restroom every single time. And that's where most of my injuries come from, is falling in the bathroom, like either hitting my head on the toilet or like what I'm going to describe on the tub or on the floor or whatever. But it's always in the bathroom. And this is why I don't lock my doors anymore, because of what happened in this situation that I'm going to tell you guys about. Because I always have to use the restroom, and if you think about it, the restroom is dangerous. Like there's a lot of hard surfaces. The tile, the toilet is porcelain, and the bathtub, like it's just a whole dangerous situation. So I don't lock, just in case people can get to me quickly. So I had to use the restroom, and in my head I was thinking, I was like, oh no, I really have to use the restroom, and I can't hold it, at least not until I feel better. So I'm like, I need to go now. That's honestly when I should have told someone, is like, hey, I have to use the restroom and I'm not feeling well. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna be in and out. Like it's not gonna take long. I just gotta go really quick, and then I'm gonna go back to bed and go back to sleep. And sometime during me using the restroom, I have a tonic-clonic seizure. I fall over and I hit my head on the side of the tub. So the way my mom's bathroom is set up is like the toilet's right here, and then the tub is right in front of the toilet. So while I was using the toilet, I fall over and I hit my head on the tub, and that's why I got the scar. It's like kind of like a Y shape. It goes from this eyebrow to this eyebrow, and then it goes down a little bit on the bridge of my nose. Maybe I'll post a video, or I'll take a picture without makeup and kind of zoom in on the scar so you guys can get a better, closer look of how my scar looks like. But I fell over, and while while I was in the bathroom or before I had my seizure, I locked the door behind me because, that's what people do when they go and use the restroom. They lock the door. And I used to do the same thing. And before this incident happened, I used to lock the door, and now I don't. So I had my tonic-clonic. I fell over. I was bleeding out. When I woke up, this is all up until the bathroom. So I don't remember falling. I don't remember what happened. I only remember up to when I went to the bathroom. After that, I don't remember until I woke up in the hospital and my mom had to let me know exactly what was going on. Because, yeah, like that's what happens when you have a seizure. You kind of wake up with a part of your life missing, and you have to rely on the people around you to fill in the blanks because you don't remember what's going on. Most people black out. Most people aren't or at least I won't say most, like some people aren't aware of what's going on. So it's you're waking up to not knowing what happened, not knowing what you did, and you rely heavily on people to fill in the blanks to get an understanding of what happened. And from what my mom told me, because I woke up, there was dry blood all over my shirt, there was blood in the bathroom, from what my mom tells me. It was all over this tub, and I was making these noises because when I have a seizure, I make like horrible noises. They're like growling and like I don't even know how to describe it. Make really horrible noises. I sometimes scream right before my tonic-clonic seizure, and my body contorts in a really crazy way where it looks like I'm possessed. But we all know people with epilepsy aren't possessed, but I look like I'm possessed. I once had a friend who works for the ER. She's a nurse. My mom called her because she was like, she needed her help. And this is a whole other story. But my mom called her because she needed her help. And she told me like days later that I look like I'm possessed. She says like I contorted my body in ways that she didn't know it was possible. Like I am I am not a flexible person, but when I'm having a seizure, I'm like Gumby. Um I'm like a stiff Gumby over here making like doing the craziest contortion ever. And so that's what was happening that night when I fell and got my scar, is that I was contorting. I hit myself on the side of the tub and I was making these crazy noises. Everyone was asleep except my brother. And thankfully he wasn't asleep because he's the one who let my mom know. He was like, "Hey mom, there's something going on with Samantha. I like some crazy sounds are coming from the bathroom. I think there's something wrong with her." My mom and my daughter's still asleep at this point. Like my daughter doesn't wake up. That girl can sleep through anything. Sleep, like she's such a heavy sleeper. But my mom and my brother were banging on the door, and they were trying to like, they were calling my name. They're like, "Samantha, Samantha, Samantha, open the door. Are you okay? What's going on? Are you having a seizure? What's going on?" And when I have a tonic-clonic seizure, I don't wake up until hours later. It takes so much out of me that I wake up hours later. And I only wake up because usually I have to use the restroom again. So, oh my gosh, I always have to use the restroom. I have like the bladder of a little peanut. But yeah, so I am knocked out for hours. And I mean hours. So my both my mom and my brother were super worried that I might have hurt myself, that that I wasn't alive anymore. And so things just things just became so real at that moment when for my family and for myself. And this is why a lot of people don't like those seizure prank videos and getting strobe lights, because seizures are not a laughing matter. Like, a lot of people lose their lives because of it. A lot of people get hurt from it. I've gotten hurt so many times. I could have lost my life right then and there at that moment. And the fact that people make such a light out of it is, it's honestly disgusting. And I feel so bad, not only for the people in the epilepsy community, but I feel bad for our families who worry about us, because you're not only making light of our pain, but you're making light of our family's pain. A little rant, side rant. But back to the story. Well, while my mom and my brother were banging on the door trying to get my attention, I was having a tonic-clonic seizure in the bathroom, just locked in the bathroom, seizing on the bathroom floor. And it was, my brother was about to break down the door when I unlock the door and I fall into my mom and my brother's hands. It sounds like a scene from a movie where you just fall into their hands, and like all of a sudden. And and this is why I think God was definitely looking out for me, because like I said, I don't wake up for hours and hours after my seizure. To wake up, walk, unlock myself out of the bathroom, and just fall into um my family's arms. I feel like God was looking out for me, because I don't see any other possible way. I am not trying to make this into a religious episode, but this is how I genuinely feel. I felt like God was looking out for me, because, you know, there's after a seizure, I don't know what's going on. I'm out of it. I don't wake up for hours. I'm asleep. I could barely walk. So I always need help to walk from the hospital to the car to my bedroom after I have a seizure. So the fact that I was walking on my own, unlocking the door, that's that's all God for me. There's no doubt about it that God was definitely looking out for me at that moment. And I open the door, I fall into my mom's and my brother's arms, and my mom tells my brother to call the ambulance because I was bleeding. There's blood everywhere. I had a big old, my forehead, or what is this, like the bridge of my nose in between my eyebrows, this little area. This little area, it was open, it was bleeding, I was bleeding. And so my mom calls the ambulance, and that's when my daughter wakes up. My daughter wakes up to finding me getting carried by the ambulance with blood all over my face. And she was a mess, understandably so. My daughter and I are very close, and to see her mom like that must have been traumatizing for her, and that she must have been so worried. And so I go to the ambulance, and they take me to the hospital, the same hospital I've been going to since I was 11 years old. And they stitch me up, and they tell me, come back in a few days and talk to your doctor. So now I have a scar. I have a scar because of that incident, and my doctor gave me rescue medications because of that incident. He said that the medication that I take, clonazepam, is the same medication that the ER gives you to stop your seizures. It's just in pill form, and it's the reason why I haven't had seizures in 4 years. 4 or 5 years. I don't even know. I don't even keep track, to be quite honest. I'm more of a just wait and see type of girl. Like I don't keep track of the amount of time I've been seizure free. It's bad, huh? I need to go back and like look at everything. But yeah, that's the reason why my doctor gave me the rescue medication. He was like, here, maybe this can help you, because I was honestly running out of medication. The medication I take now, if that medication didn't work, I would have had to look at a different treatment plan, because I have gone through every possible epilepsy medication, every anti-seizure, anti-convulsant medication. I have gone through them all, and they all are horrible. They all don't help, and I get really bad side effects. I am so sensitive when it comes to medication. I am so sensitive. So for me, the least amount of side effects is the one I tend to stick with, because I'm not good with medication. I always get the worst. And I'll make a whole episode on seizures, medication side effects, and what I have gone through, because it kind of touches with mental health. But yes, and that's why my doctor gave me my rescue medication. He was like, maybe this can help you because I know that when I start switching consistently, I I'm going to have a tonic-clonic seizure. Like I'll twitch every once in a while throughout the year, but it's the consistent twitching that gets me to the point where I'm going to have a tonic-clonic. And so when I feel like I'm twitching consistently, or I'm just not feeling good, I will take one of those rescue medications. It knocks me out, and I sleep it for a few hours. When I wake up, I'm okay. And it has honestly, truly changed the game for me. It has helped me so much. But yeah, I'm just thinking about my scar, and afterwards I got told that because I don't wear makeup on a daily basis. 90% of the time I'm not with makeup. 90% of the time this isn't on. I'm not one to be wearing makeup every single day, because honestly, I'm too lazy to wash my face and to take everything off and to put everything on. Like I would much rather spend my time doing something I enjoy, like reading or crocheting or getting that extra few minutes. So this is just for you guys. This makeup, this whole I'm looking put together look, this is just for you guys. This isn't Sam on a daily basis. This is Sam trying to make it look like she got her life together, even though she don't. So I like makeup. I just don't like putting it on. I'm not too lazy for it, to be quite honest. It's too much work. But afterwards, I got told that I need to do some sort of scar treatment, some sort of skin treatment to diminish the look of my scar. And I thought that was so rude. Like, do you know what I have gone through to get this scar? This scar is a reminder that I survived and that I'm still here, and I'm still able to tell my daughter I love her, and tell my family that I love them, and give them hugs and spend time with them. Like this scar is a reminder that I'm still alive. I just think that people don't always think before they speak, because if they did, they wouldn't be making rude comments like that. And I'm not going to do any sort of laser scar treatments or anything like that. If I do it, it's going to be for the acne scars, not for this scar, because like I said, it's a reminder, and I'm not going to be made to feel ashamed of my scar just because it's an imperfection. It's not ideal according to the beauty standards of the world. I mean, I think my scar is beautiful. I think it gives me, honestly, I like my scar. I think it gives me character. I think it's an interesting story to tell, and it's I feel like it's something that I went through, something that my family went through, and I personally find it a beautiful scar, and I'm not going to get rid of it. I may cover it up once in a while with makeup and stuff, but I'm not trying to cover it. It's just I'm just trying to even out my skin. That's the only reason, honestly, because my skin is really red. I have really red skin. Like everything makes my face turn red. So I'm like a little lobster. Um. So I'm not gonna get rid of my scar. So all you who are listening out there, think before you speak, because you have no idea what people have gone through and what's behind that scar, what's behind, anything. You know, the way their hair is or the way their body is. Like, we need to be more mindful of what we say and how we say it. Like, whatever happened to think before you speak. A lot of people are just diarrhea of the mouth and just say whatever comes across. But yeah, that's how I got my scar, or that's how I almost died, or the reason why I got my rescue medication. Like, whatever this title is going to be. Yeah, welcome to season 2. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Figuring Out Epilepsy. Deuces. I'm such a dork now.